about a half-mile offshore, working with a very attractive partner the Marine Land of the Pacific had assigned to me. We'd finished our job, and we'd even found some abalone for our lunch. But I might have known it was all too good to last. When we surfaced, a visitor was waiting for me aboard the boat.
Mike Nelson, I presume. I'm Lewis Hale. This is a real pleasure.
Miss Edwards.
Hi.
Hello.
Where's your diving line? The rest of your gear?
Well, I run a skin dive. I wear this to keep in condition.
You mean you swam all the way out here?
Well, sure, that's not far.
I'd say it was pretty far, especially swimming alone.
Which brings me right to my point. I need a partner, you. It'd be a lot of fun.
I have a lot of fun with my job now.
Well, if my calculations are right, there'd be a lot of money in the deal, too.
I'll make enough money. I'm perfectly satisfied.
Well, wouldn't you like to at least hear my proposition?
All right, let me haul in my net first, huh? We'll talk about it on the way in.
No, I'm gonna swim in. I need the exercise. I'll see you on the beach.
Now, what's he trying to prove?
10 minutes later, we were tying up at the Marine Land dock.
I'll get on the beach and get rid of muscle as fast as I can.
Okay, Mike, I'll have lunch ready when you come back.
I feel great. That was a great swim.
Yeah, you're quite a swimmer, aren't you?
Only fair. Judo's a sport I really like. You ever try it? Huh?
Oh, a little.
Really? Let's have a go at it. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you wanted to talk.
Sure, we can talk and have a little workout.
Let's talk first.
One for me. Mike, what would you say if I told you I hold the key to $1 million worth of sunken treasure?
I'd say that's fine. And that you don't need me. That's one for me.
Very good, Mike. There are 3 reasons I need you. 1, I'm not a diver. That you could teach me. 2, you've got a boat. 3, an underwater operation for one man alone is too risky. Besides, there's enough money in this deal for a whole regiment. Oh, what do you say?
Sunken treasures for kids. Right now I'm working on something scientific, and that suits me fine.
But, man, the deal I'm talking about is scientific. Scientific research. The gold is only an incidental byproduct. Hey, Mike, tell me, have you ever heard of Alfred Wegener and his theory on the moving continents?
No.
Well, Wegener's dead now. He froze to death on an expedition up in Greenland, a great loss to modern geology.
Too bad. Just what has Wegener's theory got to do with your proposition?
Well, Wegener established, by actual measurement, that all land masses are in constant motion, partially because of the centrifugal force generated as the Earth whirls through space. For instance, the ancient Egyptian pyramids are actually miles from where they were first erected. The Strait of Gibraltar is 3 times wider than it was, say, well, in ancient days. And America is 40 or 50 feet, as I understand it, farther away from England as recently as, say, 1920. These land movements are going on today. Intriguing, isn't it?
Fascinating. You through with your little workout now?
Oh, Mike, don't be sore. It was all in fun. What I'm really trying to say is that many long-sunken ships have moved from their original positions, and this bears out Wegener's theory.
A lot of other factors to be taken into consideration, too, you know, like specific gravity, ocean currents.
Very good, Mike, but I'm a mathematician. And all this data would go into my calculations, which I would feed into my computer.
Computer?
Yes, I have a portable one.
Who ever heard of a computer leading into a sunken ship?
No one. But you see, this is my own secret invention. Well, are we in business?
Are you willing to give me a little demonstration of this computer of yours?
Oh. What kind of a demonstration?
I was afraid that I went down here right offshore about around 1897. Her bearings are well known to everybody, but no one's been able to locate her. There's nothing of value on it, but it might prove a point. You want to try it?
Well, you give me the correct data for my machine, and I'll find it. And if I don't, I'll give up. How's that?
If you do, you got yourself a partner.
Let's shake on it.
Oh, you don't. Last time I did that, you almost broke my neck. How about having lunch with me instead, huh?
All right, that's a deal. I'll get my flippers and be right with you.
Morning.
Morning. Excuse me. Thank you. Well, Mike, this end goes into the water. This feeds directly into the box. That way, the data is fed directly into the machine.
Oh, that's quite a gadget. Look at that machine of yours.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm afraid your curiosity is going to have to remain unsatisfied. You see, the best years of my life went into developing that machine. And nobody's ever going to have a good look at it. That goes for you too, partner.
You mean I never will be able to see it?
No. Sorry. Well, I'm ready to shove off whenever you are. Follow a course that'll take us to the general area where the freighter went down. By that time, I should be ready to take over.
So we moved out to sea. If I'd known what was waiting for me, I'd never have left the dock.
You know, if that data you gave me is correct, that freight ought to be right about here. That's 300 feet east of her last known bearings, according to my machine.
It's about 80 feet to the bottom. I'll get my gear on and go down and see what's there. If anything.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. I gather you don't think you're going to find anything.
A lot of good men have tried and failed. And that freighter's been on the bottom for over 60 years.
If you keep your eyes open, you'll find something. I'll give you a hand with your stuff.
A few minutes later, I was searching along the bottom. I was sure that I was wasting my time. Then I found the anchor chain. I touched it, sighted along it. I looked up, and there was the freighter. I've never been as surprised as I was at that moment. A man with a theory and a gadget had found something that other men had been hunting for years. I headed for the surface, and my partner at once.
That machine of yours is pure magic. And you're a ringtail magician.
Forget the hero worship, Mike. Starting tomorrow, I'm your pupil. When you find those barges and the gold that's in them, I want to be right there with you.
Good enough. We'll start those skin diving lessons the first thing in the morning.
Hale was an athlete. There was no doubt about that. He learned faster than anyone I'd ever instructed before. But I had a feeling that he wanted to get along without me. If so, he'd be making a big mistake. 90 feet is an awful lot of water, and there are no safe shortcuts to the surface. Suddenly, there was a cave in front of us. I motioned for him to stay out of it, but he went in anyway. I heard the noise when his air tank hit the rock and his air was cut off. By the time I reached him, he was unconscious. I didn't waste any time hauling him out of there and turning on his air valve, but it was still a lot too close for comfort. Another 10 seconds, and he would have been dead. When I got him aboard, he was barely breathing. Hale had swallowed a lot of water. The flicker of life seemed to be there. I coaxed. I pleaded. Slowly, rhythmically, working into exhaustion.
Breathe. Oh, come on. Come on, boy. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, boy. Come on. Come on. Boy. You all right, fella?
My efforts paid off. He was coming around. A sniff of ammonia would do the trick.
I thought you were trying to get into my...
Here, take it.
Mike, you saved my life. I'll never forget that.
Just do what I tell you to do when we're underwater. And if something goes wrong, don't panic.
I did panic, didn't I?
And you almost killed yourself.
That's never gonna happen again.
Hale had the strength of a bull. By the following morning, he was fully recovered, and we were heading out toward the sunken barges. Barges loaded with gold and lost beneath the sea for well over 100 years. The barges had broken loose, collided, and gone down over 40 miles off the coast. If Hale's general theory was correct, the ocean bottom had moved on, and so had the barges. While we headed for the general area, Hale went through his routine of taking sights and fixes and reducing them to mathematical equations for his machine to digest. Hale had a busy routine, but I was beginning to get the funny feeling that a lot of it was strictly for my benefit. When we got close to the target area, Hale stayed with the computer right up until the time that he told me to drop anchor. we got into our underwater outfits and started the search. We searched the sea bottom until our air reserve was almost gone, but we found no signs of the wrecked wooden barges and their cargo of gold. What we did find was a number of jettisoned oil drums, metal ones, and very definitely of the 20th century. Was disappointed, but I was disturbed by what might possibly have been just a peculiar coincidence. Those oil drums were metal, and so was the freighter that we'd found. There was something that didn't seem right to me, and I was determined to find a few minutes alone for a look at Hale's mysterious machine.
I can't understand it.
Maybe your machine just goofed.
My machine never makes mistakes. The data I fed into it must have been wrong. I'd better recheck my figures.
I awakened early the following morning. Hale was still asleep. This could be my chance to have a look into that sea chest. I reached for his keys.
Gotta get going, don't you think?
Yeah. You're up early.
Today's the day, isn't it?
That's right, partner.
Hale made some new computations, and we were on our way again, trying to find the sunken treasure barges.
And drop anchor right here.
And it worked. I suggested to Hale that we split up, search in different directions, and then rendezvous back at the boat. This gave me my chance. First objective was the drift meter hanging from its cable beneath the boat. to be anything unusual about it until I turned away. Then it almost seemed alive as it leaped at my metal tank and clung to it. There was no doubt about the powerful magnetism the gadget was emitting. No matter how I turned my compass, the needle pointed toward it. Now I knew that Hale had lied to me. His machine was not a computer. Hale's whole routine had been phony from start to finish. What he called a computer was really a very sensitive detector of metallic objects. The lettering on the device made it plain that Hale was a thief, if not worse. It was designed for anti-submarine warfare, not for treasure hunting, and he'd stolen it from the research laboratories of the U.S. Navy. I had to contact Naval Intelligence, and fast. In the meantime, Hale had found the barges, and he'd sent up a marker boy.
How you snapping?
Well, I found it. We're rich, man. Rich. Oh, what's the matter, what is it?
Take it easy now, huh? We're in enough trouble as it is.
The other one was in trouble.
In my backyard for a change, a partner.
Hale was a muscle man, but he couldn't stay underwater as long as I could. When I hauled him back aboard, he was out cold. When the copter arrived to pick up Hale and his stolen gadget, I lit a flare for them. I felt like I was back in the Navy again. It felt good.
Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.
My name's Mike Nelson. My usual trade is freelance diving, anywhere and everywhere in the world. This time it had brought me into the Florida Everglades on a scientific survey for marine land of the Pacific. We were trying to answer a question. Can a saltwater fish live in fresh water? My job was underwater observation, and right now I was following a rumor about a monstrous fish seen in this lake. And the lake was over 20 miles from the ocean. It was possible. I'd heard of a shark attacking a man 30 miles inland, in Australia, but I had my doubts about that. What I expected to see was an oversized catfish. I was swimming through the area where the monster fish was reported. At first, everything looked normal. Then I looked up and saw a shadow. This monster was no catfish. It was a shark, and a big one. A lot of beautiful theories went up in smoke. And then it happened. Something hit me, like a sledgehammer. I was nearly out. I reached instinctively for the rescue pack attached to my belt. I was slowly losing my consciousness as the inflated rescue pack carried me above. When I came to, I was lying on the deck of a boat. I heard voices, but I felt weak and paralyzed. I couldn't move a muscle. Then slowly I sensed the circulation returning, and with help I was able to move again.
There he goes. Let's try him. Come on up. God, he's a heavy one. Ed, start the motor. We'll get him to the hospital.
Oh, I'm not that bad.
Well, you might as well have a checkup.
We hooked your kicker on. We got your diving gear aboard.
Oh. See, I can't imagine what hit me. It's like a sledgehammer. I thought I was a goner for sure.
I know. Look at them.
They look like they were dynamited.
Ah, a shark. Same thing that hit you?
I didn't hear anything.
I know you didn't. That's why we're out here looking.
What are you looking for?
Well, we got a poacher who's been operating this area for a couple of weeks. Butchering fish like this. Now, if we hadn't been around, he'd have killed you too.
Oh, you can say that again. You saved my life. I thank you. Hey, this character, how's he do his dirty work, you know?
Monkey fishing. It's an electric shark. See, they used to dynamite him, but it made too much noise, so some smart boy figured out a way for this electric shark here. Put a strong charge of current right in the water, fish never know what hit them.
This fish sure didn't.
Probably never saw you. You being on the water in that rig of yours. Not that he would have cared. We got a lot of runaway convicts hiding out in these swamps. They can't work, so they pick up some money poaching.
That's why you're out here, huh? You're looking for him.
Right.
Listen, we've been talking away here. For all you know, we might be poachers ourselves. My name's Warren Tate. This here run over here is Ed Haskell, the State Fish and Game Commissioner.
Well, it's more than a pleasure, let me tell you. My name's Mike Nelson. I'm with the survey team here at Silver Springs.
There's certain kinds of fish that don't live anywhere else but in these swamps. Then some poacher comes along and he blasts the fish for a few lousy dollars.
with you. I don't like that guy either.
I know how you feel. But he almost killed you. From now on, we'll have the sheriff's office looking for him full time.
A poacher can hide out in 1,000 places in these swamps. Well, he couldn't have gone too far after he shocked you. I have an idea we've already passed right by him. Don't look back.
The poacher?
Guys in that reed patch back there.
There's a spot up ahead where I can turn around.
What do you say, Mike boy? How do you feel?
Let's go get him.
All right, Ed. Quiet and careful now.
I'd never seen anything like this airboat. An airplane-type propeller pushed it with tremendous speed. It had no keel, could glide over patches of reed, could turn on a dime, skid over logs. It flew over the swamp with a screaming roar. Chase, but when he glided over a reed clump and mud bank, we were stymied.
Can't get it started.
That airboat slid right through. Yeah, I know. There's nothing to hang on. There's no keel. He can float on a heavy dew. Come on, get that thing started. Ed, well, hit it again. Come on.
Now, all we could do was to cruise along slowly, hoping that accidentally we might sight him.
Ducked into one of these side channels. He had 5 yards of us and we couldn't see him in here.
Is it all like this? You know this part of the Everglades?
Listen, nobody knows the Everglades, except maybe the Seminoles. Lakes, marshes, cypress swamps, 60 miles in every direction.
Let us drift down easy. Try to spot him before he can get behind us and run.
I don't see a thing.
All we need's a helicopter.
I don't stand a chance if he gets in those marshes.
Yeah, I mean, it's too shallow there, huh?
About 6 inches, most of it. Of course, he can slide right over it, but we'd be no better off than if we're on dry land.
So either we catch him right close to here, or we don't catch him.
It was almost 2 weeks since I'd nearly been electrocuted underwater. I was engaged in a controlled experiment in the clear waters of Silver Springs. I erected an underwater fence. The idea was to plant deep sea fish in this underwater garden of fresh water where they could be constantly observed.
You knock, Doc?
Yeah, I was getting a little bit worried about you. Stay down there so long this time.
I want to finish my job.
Did you finish it?
Most beautiful fence you ever saw.
Good. My pets are getting a little bit stuffy in that tank.
Let's get them in there, huh? Well, I get this tank up. Did you lose any?
No, not this.
Are you ready?
You Mike Nelson?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Jake Terriolo. I'm a guide in the Everglades. Warren Tate sent me.
Warren Tate, what's the trouble?
We got the poacher that almost killed you surrounded on a small island. We need your help to get him.
Oh, what you want me to do?
I'll explain on the way. Bring your diving stuff, they said.
Okay. Yeah. How'd you happen to find him?
One of my people saw his airboat and told me. I guided Haskell and Tate in, but he heard us coming.
Is he alone?
Yeah, he's alone, but he's got a rifle.
Well, what is it they want me to do?
Ah, it's a funny setup. You'll see.
We traveled for hours through strange, wild country. Jacob knew the swamps as if he had a map engraved in his head, and we took every shortcut.
How'd you get that?
I got careless, and he's real good with that rifle. Keep down.
Hey, Mike, I'm glad you got here, boy. I hope you're in time.
What's the situation? What do you want me to do?
Go up and take a look for yourself. Be kind of careful. He's pretty trigger happy.
I took a look. Nobody could approach the shack without making a beautiful target of himself.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, it's already afternoon. Now, if we wait around till dark, he's going to skedaddle out the back of that shack and clear out in the swamp. We never will get him then.
We tried to get around behind him. That's how I got this.
If the fellow could get behind him, you could surprise him.
There's only one way to do that, without being seen.
There was only one way, underwater. If the poacher thought of it too, and if he decided to shoot an electric charge into the little lake, well, this time he might get me. I wasn't too happy with my job, but I did want to get a close look at the guy that almost killed me.
Okay, boy?
Yeah, just about.
Sure you won't need my gun?
Yeah, I might get fouled up. Use my spear gun. Now, let's see now. How are we going to do this? Check our watches, huh? Set yours to mine, huh? Take me about 3 or 4 minutes to get there. In 5 minutes, you guys start firing on them. That'll divert them, and I'll get in behind them. 5 minutes from now.
Good luck, boy.
Call us if you need us.
I felt a little lonely out there all by myself. The channel opened out into the lake, and the water was deep enough so that I couldn't be seen. If I could only have known what was happening above. Four and a half minutes. This was close work. I had to figure time and distance exactly. I was depending on my compass. It wouldn't be funny if I came up not on the rear of the island, but in front, right under the poacher's gun. About halfway there. 3 minutes to go.
Minute and a half to go.
Wonder how he's doing.
I sure wouldn't like to be in his slippers.
Gutty, fella. But Yankee.
Yeah, almost good enough to be an Indian.
1 minute.
One minute left, and I ran into trouble. Alligators aren't supposed to attack anything large. They're scavengers. But I wasn't too happy at the idea of testing theory at this moment. Like most theories, they look a lot better in the laboratory. A half a minute. I was almost there. It was 5 o'clock and getting dark. When the sun disappeared, so would the poacher. Darkness was his only chance. Surfaced at the back of the shack. The poacher couldn't see me. I noticed a small ladder leading to the porch. I ducked back into the water to get rid of my gear. I needed complete freedom of movement to do this job.
Don't turn around. Or I'll shoot. Put your hands up. Okay. Turn around. Come on out here. Open the door. Keep walking. Put the gun down. Now turn around. Tate? Astro, I got him.
He did it. Come on. Boy, some nice stomping. Now it's back to prison for you. Hey, let's get him in the boat there.
Here, give me a hand.
Jake, get in the airboat and follow us. Well, Mike, boy, anything we can ever do?
Yeah, you already did. A couple of weeks ago, remember? Well, that was just about the end of Mike Nelson. And that's not all. You helped us with our scientific survey.
How was that?
Well, I tell you, we've been looking for peculiar kinds of life in the Everglades.
Ah.
I thought you told him to follow us. Oh, look at that Indian fly. Hi, I'm Lloyd Bridges, inviting you to join us for another action-packed story of underwater adventure 1 week from today.